My name is Elise Hartman, and I'm 29 years old. Competence doesn't grandstand. It hums under the noise, a metronome you don't hear until the music stops. I built my life around that hum, projects that close on time, invoices that balance on the dot, a small consulting practice that looks boring on paper and feels like a clean, white room in my head. I wanted love to feel like that too. Steady, held, low drama. Adrian loved drama the way sunflowers love light. 27, camera ready at any hour, an algorithm's favorite son. He'd pose in our hallway mirror and workshop captions like punchlines. He could look sincere on command. That was his talent. It was a wine glass. Of course it was a wine glass. He walked into the kitchen in designer loungewear I'd bought for his content days, set the stem on the edge of the sink, and let it go. It toppled, cracked against the basin, and shattered into clean, bright triangles that glittered like confetti after a party you regret throwing. Adrian glanced down, shrugged, and turned to leave. "Hey," I said, palm flat to the counter to keep my voice level. "You going to clean that up?" He pivoted, lips already annoyed. "I'll get to it later." "There's broken glass in the sink," I said. "I'm doing dishes now." He flicked a hand. "So, do them later." We'd been together 2.5 years, living together for one. I could plot our last 6 months on a scatter chart of disrespect. Messes abandoned, jokes at my expense, flirting just past the line because that's engagement, babe. Quiet digs about my control freak energy. The glass wasn't new. It was familiar. "Adrian," I said, gentler than he deserved, "please, it'll take 2 seconds." He rolled his eyes like a special effect. "Oh my God, you're so dramatic. Fine." He plucked up exactly 2 shards with a single paper towel, tossed it, and left the rest glinting like landmines. "Seriously?" I asked. That's when he put his hands on his hips, set his jaw at an angle he knew read well on video, and delivered the line that ended everything. "This is who I am. Take it or leave it. I'm not changing for anybody." There are moments that feel like being handed a verdict you secretly wrote weeks ago. I looked at him, really looked. Designer sweats, smug expression. Our hallway light framing him like a ring light. The sink throwing stars at me. "Okay," I said, calm as a closing door. "I'll leave it." His smirk faltered. "What?" I dried my hands, walked past him, and went to the bedroom. The closet answered before he did. His section looked like a sponsored post. I pulled out his luggage, the sleek carry-on I'd bought for our Miami trip last year, and started folding his clothes. Neat, efficient, the way I like my thoughts. "What are you doing?" His voice pitched up as he followed me. "Elise, what are you serious right now?" "Packing your things," I said. "You told me who you are. I believe you." He laughed, a thin, disbelieving sound. "Over broken glass?" "Over months of disrespect," I said, placing 2 pairs of sneakers flat, toes kissing. "The glass is just illustration." "Babe, stop!" He reached for my hands. I kept folding. "You're overreacting." "I didn't mean—" "You did," I said. "You always mean it when it's easy." I moved through the room like a small weather system, dresser to suitcase to nightstand. Chargers, watches, hair clippers, the cologne I could recognize with my eyes closed. He looked between me and the door like one might change the other. "You can't kick me out. I live here." "You stay here," I corrected, soft but final. "Your name isn't on the mortgage, the lease, or any bills. You don't get mail here. You're a guest who's overstayed." He blinked. "Where am I supposed to go?" "Carter's," I said. "You're always with him anyway." "That's not fair." His mouth did the wounded curve he used when he wanted the comments to rally. "You're making me homeless." "I'm setting a boundary," I said, and zipped the suitcase. The sound was a line drawn with a ruler. "You can call someone to pick you up, or I can get you an Uber." He tried a different angle, tears. "Baby, please, let's talk. I love you." "If this is how you treat people you love," I said, "I'd hate to see how you treat enemies." I took the garbage bags I'd already filled, gym gear, random PR packages he never opened, a yoga mat he called aesthetic, and carried them to the living room. He trailed me, alternating between anger and manipulation like a DJ with 2 tracks. "You're going to regret this. I was stressed. Everyone's stressed. My friends were right about you. Please don't do this. You're acting like a child." I placed his things by the door, unlocked my phone, and opened the ride app. X or XL? He folded his arms. "I'm not leaving. This is my home too." "No," I said, meeting his eyes. "It isn't. And if you refuse to leave, I'll call the police and have you removed for trespassing." He studied me, searching for the bluff. There wasn't one. I was done. You can't bargain with a closed door. He exhaled through his nose and grabbed his phone. Carter, he said, as if I weren't there. Elise is having a meltdown. Can you come get me? 20 minutes later, Carter's old hatchback slid to the curb. Bryn was in the passenger seat, hair in a top knot, expression already tired. Adrian dragged his suitcase across our living room like it was heavier than his choices. At the door, he turned back for one last performance. You're making the biggest mistake of your life, he said. No one else will put up with you like I did. Put up with me? I almost laughed. I paid for everything while you treated me like a brand activation. But you're right. No one else will put up with that. That's why you're leaving. He slammed the door. The echo rang down the hallway. I went back to the kitchen, took a deep breath, and faced the sink. The fragments looked smaller now. I swept them into a dustpan, rinsed the basin clean, and let the water run until it didn't catch light anymore. First time in months, I smiled while cleaning. This was only the beginning, of course. Adrian was very comfortable with the life I'd built, and he decorated. He was about to learn what "this is who I am" really costs when the person funding your story stops believing in your plot. I shut off the faucet. The house exhaled. In the plain, blessed quiet, I could hear the metronome again. People assume breakups implode in silence, but sometimes they echo. Not through tears, through notifications. Day 1. The first text came at 7:18 a.m. My card got declined at Starbucks. What did you do? He'd been an authorized user on my credit card. I removed him the same night he left, right after cleaning up the glass. Fix this now, you're being cruel. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened my banking app and looked at the numbers that finally belonged only to me. He'd been spending $400, $500 a month on brand inspiration, lattes, brunches, photo ops. My coffee maker at home had never made it into his feed. By noon, he posted a black screen on his Instagram story. When strong men scare insecure women, they call it toxicity. Carter messaged me 5 minutes later. Ignore him. He's spiraling. I already was, just not the way he meant. Day 2. Adrian's rebrand continued. A carousel of moody selfies, captions like, healing isn't pretty, but at least I'm real. You can't dim my energy. The comments poured in. Heart emojis, king emojis, hashtags about knowing your worth. But the echo chamber cracked sooner than I expected. Bryn, bless her unfiltered heart, commented, Didn't you brag last week that Elise paid your rent while you built your platform? He deleted it in under 2 minutes. Screenshots last longer. Afternoon. I got a call from Verizon. Ms. Hartman, a Mr. Adrian Cole is attempting to transfer his line off your account. The remaining balance on his device is $847. We need payment before it can be released. Of course, the iPhone 14 Pro I'd bought him for his birthday, technically mine. He called an hour later, voice pitched for sympathy. Elise, can you just pay it so I can have my own line? I'll pay you back, I swear. When have you ever paid me back for anything? I'll start now, please. No. Then what am I supposed to do? Get your own phone plan, with your own phone. I can't afford a new one. Then you should have thought of that before saying take it or leave it. He hung up. 10 minutes later, he was tweeting from Carter's phone. Imagine weaponizing money just because you got dumped. The irony could have powered a small city. Day 3. Reality started catching up. Adrian worked 15 hours a week at a fitness studio, not as a trainer, but as the front desk guy who checked people in and flirted while folding towels. Minimum wage and free smoothies. His total monthly income, about $600. Meanwhile, his routine expenses included weekly haircuts, $80, monthly color refresh, $200, gym membership, $180, work meals, $600, networking drinks, $300, random shopping, don't ask. All of it funded by me. The math never bothered him until he had to solve it alone. By afternoon, the cracks reached Carter's apartment. They lived in a 1-bedroom downtown, shared with Bryn. 3 adults, 5 shelves of protein powder, 1 bathroom. Bryn called me that evening. I love you, Elise, but he's driving me insane. He used my shampoo and told me it was a community product. Carter's trying to keep the peace, but he's not staying here long. Not my jurisdiction, I said, sipping coffee that cost nothing but patience. Evening. The phone rang again. This time, a number I didn't recognize. Hi, this is Melinda from Corfit Studio. Adrian listed you as an emergency contact. Is he okay? My stomach dipped. Why? He requested a pay advance and said you could vouch for him. I almost laughed. No, I can't. She hesitated. He seems stressed lately. Stressed was one word for it. By sunset, he was calling again. I need to come get more of my stuff. What stuff? My grooming kit, my supplements, my cologne, all in the bags I gave you. You threw out my hairdryer. You mean the one I bought? No, I packed it. Check the duffel. You're being petty. No, Adrian, I'm being precise. In the background, I heard Bryn mutter something. Then Carter took the phone. Elise, please, just let him grab his mat or whatever. He's pacing like a caged cat. He can pick it up tomorrow at noon. Alone. Fine, but seriously, 3 more days of this and he's gone. Night. Adrian's parents called. His mother, Deborah, sounded polite but exhausted. Elise, sweetheart, what happened? Adrian says you threw him out over a wine glass. That was just the final straw, Deborah. He's been disrespectful for months. The glass was symbolic. Silence hummed. Then his father, Grant, spoke. Ah, that's why he can't move back here. Grant, Deborah hissed. What? It's true. He lived with us after college. Same pattern. We're not doing that again. Boundaries, it seemed, were genetic in everyone except Adrian. By the end of day 3, he'd run out of couches and patience. His stories shifted from empowerment to desperation. Starting fresh, no negativity, manifesting abundance. A bikini pic reposted from our Miami trip captioned, New Chapter. Within hours, he slid into the DMs of Chloe, a crypto investor type with a neon aesthetic and a soft spot for lost causes. My friend Jenna sent screenshots. Dinner soon? My treat. You deserve better than fake people. You have no idea how right you are, Adrian replied. I stared at the messages for a long time. The irony was almost poetic. He was already rehearsing his next script, hoping someone else would pick up the check. Current status 72 hours later. Homeless, rotating between friends' couches. Phoneless, Sal still owes $847. Income, $600 a month, if that. Reputation, cracking. Still posting daily quotes about realness. Meanwhile, my house stayed spotless. I slept 8 uninterrupted hours for the first time in months. I made breakfast, actual breakfast, not content. And as I sat at the table with the morning light cutting through clean glass, I realized something sharp and simple. He thought I'd crumble without him. But he was the mess. I was just finally done cleaning it. People love to say time heals. They forget it also exposes. 2 weeks after I packed his suitcase, Adrian's New Chapter looked like a rerun nobody wanted to stream. Day 5. Carter texted me a photo of their hallway. Adrian's luggage stacked like sad furniture beside the door. He brought a date home at 2 a.m. Bryn lost it. Said something about, we're too poor for a real apartment. She threw him out after that. He'd burned through his only couch option in record time. Day 6, Deborah called again. He wants to move home, Elise, but refuses to follow our rules. No overnight guests, get a job, pay rent. He says we're being financially abusive. You're not, I said softly. You're just setting limits. Where did we go wrong? She whispered. Grant's voice in the background, by never letting him fail. The silence after that wasn't awkward. It was clarity settling in. Day 7. Enter Chloe, crypto lifestyle influencer. BMW leases, filtered sunsets, captions like, get paid for your energy. She and Adrian had been messaging since his 3rd day of exile. They finally met at an expensive steakhouse. She paid. He posted a story. Back with someone who values me. Day 9. Rooftop bar. Fancy lighting. She forgot her wallet. He had to pay, with his last $47. Day 10. Her penthouse turned out to be her mom's basement. White ring light on a folding table. He stayed 3 nights. Not for romance, but survival. Meanwhile, his job search began. Applications sent. 30 plus. Replies. 2. Interviews attended. 1. Attire. Clubwear. Metallic shirt. Deep V. Smell of cologne. 3 syllables long. The receptionist at the agency later DM'd me, unprompted. He told us he consulted in digital lifestyle branding. We Googled him. Found his meltdown posts. Pass. Day 11. He showed up at my door. It was 11:04 p.m. I was reading. The knock wasn't frantic. It was rhythmic, deliberate. When I opened the door, he was standing under the porch light, hoodie up, face hollow. We need to talk, he said. No, we don't. I'm not leaving until you hear me out. Then I'll call the police. He wedged his sneaker in the doorway. Elise, I know I messed up, okay? I was stressed. I said stupid things, but we had something special. We had me paying for everything while you disrespected me. I'll change. I'll get a real job. I'll be better. Adrian, you told me who you are. Then why are you being so cold? Because I believe you. His mouth trembled. Practiced maybe, but still human. Where am I supposed to go? Chloe's mom kicked me out. My parents won't help. Carter blocked me. I'm sleeping in the fitness studio. A car idled at the curb. An Uber. Engine running. The driver honked. You coming back? Adrian flinched. I don't have any money, he said, voice cracking. I took out my phone, tapped the app, and added a tip. Now you do. Go. The driver was at the door in seconds. Ma'am? He's ready, I said. As the car pulled away, Adrian shouted from the back seat. You're heartless. I hope you're happy. You ruined my life. The taillights curved down the street and disappeared. No, I whispered, closing the door. You ruined your life when you decided respect was optional. Day 12. Melinda, his old boss at Corfit, called. Sorry to bother you, but did Adrian used to live with you? Yes. He's been sleeping in the studio. We can't have that. We'll have to let him go. I understand. He told me you made him homeless over a glass of wine. No, I said calmly. I ended our relationship after months of disrespect culminating in him refusing to clean broken glass he left in my sink. Melinda sighed. That tracks. He leaves the front desk a disaster every shift. So even his $600 income was gone. Day 14. Adrian's Instagram turned grim. Week 1. Living my best life. Week 2. Anyone know of job openings? Management roles only week. 3. This economy is trash. Likes dwindled. Comments vanished. Then came the story with a Cash App link captioned, Help a real one bounce back. Not even Bryn liked it. That night, I made tea, turned off my phone, and sat on the couch. The quiet felt earned, like something I'd paid off over months of overdraft. People say closure comes from conversation. It doesn't. It comes from clean floors, unpaid manipulators, and a door that locks. Still, I couldn't stop thinking about one thing. How calm he looked when he said, This is who I am. He thought it was confidence. It was confession. And I'd finally stopped trying to save him from it. They say everyone gets 15 minutes of fame. Adrian's expired at exactly day 30, right before his mugshot hit the county record system. Day 16. The crypto romance collapsed fast. After Chloe's mother found him borrowing cash from her wallet, he left in a rush, taking a ring light and 2 cans of Celsius. His next update read, New beginnings only. No fake people. Translation. Evicted again. That night, a new profile appeared on a sugar baby site under his usual alias, Adrian C. Real. Bio. Entrepreneur. Fitness model. Digital visionary. Seeking generous, mature woman who values authenticity. Translation. Someone please feed me. He booked 3 meetings. Date 1. Upscale restaurant. The woman asked what kind of business he ran. He answered, lifestyle management. She pressed, What do you manage? He said, energy. She left before the appetizers arrived. Date 2. A hotel bar. She Googled him mid-martini, found his meltdown posts and the Cash App story. He came home alone, tweeting, People fear realness. Date 3. A married woman's husband showed up mid-dinner. Police were called. Restaurant banned him for creating a scene. By then, he'd burned through his charm, contacts, and reputation, except one. Day 20. He met Diana Voss, 45, divorced, accountant for a mid-tier construction firm. She saw him outside a gas station asking strangers for emergency gas money. Diana had a rescuer's heart and a condo with spare space. 3 days later, he moved in. His caption, Sometimes your king finds you when you least expect it. My friend Jenna, who happened to live in the same complex, texted me, Girl, your ex is living with some lady who thinks he's a musician. He's blasting EDM at 2 a.m. Week 1. Diana bought him a new phone. Android, not iPhone. He complained publicly that green bubbles ruin the vibe. Week 2. She left for a work trip. He threw a party. Neighbors complained. Condo board issued a warning. Week 3. Diana checked her credit card statement. $1,240 in networking expenses. The networking was a bottle service receipt at a downtown club. When she confronted him, he deflected with an old favorite. This is who I am. You knew that. She didn't. Not really. But she learned fast. Day 31. He came home early from a failed audition for a fitness brand collab and found Diana in her kitchen, arms crossed. "You're done here, Adrian. I want you out." "You can't just throw me out. I own this place. You're not on the lease." "Then I'll claim tenant rights." By day 33, she filed for formal eviction. Day 34, he retaliated with a false domestic violence report, claiming she attacked him. The responding officers reviewed the condo's security footage. Adrian yelling, slamming a plate against the wall, shards scattering across the tiles. Sound familiar? They arrested him instead. Day 35. I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer. "Elise, it's me." "Who?" "Adrian, please, don't hang up." "You're calling from jail?" "Just for a few days, okay? I need help. Bail's $20,000. I don't have anyone else." "Not my problem." "Please, I'll pay you back. I swear I'll change." "With what money?" Silence. "I'm scared, Elise. It's awful here." "You know what was awful? Living with someone who had zero respect for me or my home." "I'm sorry." "No," I said quietly. "You're sorry you got caught. That's not the same thing." And then I hung up. He spent 5 days locked up. The assault charge got reduced. Time served. When he was released, Diana had already packed his belongings and dropped them off at a nearby women's shelter, the only place she knew to send them. The shelter refused to let him stay. He'd been blacklisted after refusing chores, stealing a charger, and sneaking in a woman overnight. My cousin, who volunteered there, texted me after hearing the story. "He's the only person I've ever seen kicked out for arrogance." Meanwhile, me. I'd started sleeping through the night. The quiet in my house didn't feel empty. It felt earned. The first time I vacuumed the living room without tripping over his gym bag, I realized peace isn't a gift someone gives you. It's what you get back when you stop paying for chaos. Adrian's status? End of month 1. Arrest record? Check. Criminal fine? Unpaid. Family? Distant. Friends? Ghosted. Shelter? Banned. Housing? None. Rumor said he was staying at a week-to-week motel near the freeway. I didn't check. But that night, as I made dinner, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "You ruined my life over nothing." I set the phone down, looked at the clean kitchen around me, and smiled. "No," I whispered. "I just stopped cleaning up yours." A month passes differently when peace replaces adrenaline. My days started stacking neatly again. Emails answered on time, dishes done before bed, no glass left in the sink. The house felt alive in a quiet way, like it had been holding its breath and finally exhaled. Day 40. The first morning I woke to silence. It startled me. No half-played podcast, no blender roaring for his content smoothies, no sigh of annoyance that I was hogging the Wi-Fi, just light through clean windows and the hum of my coffee maker, mine now, in every sense. I'd saved nearly $2,000 since the night he left, enough to hire a cleaning service for the deep corners, to treat myself to flowers every week, to feel how luxury is sometimes just order. Work flourished too. Clients noticed the focus. One of them, Miles Renner, 31, operations manager, started showing up in my inbox with questions that turned into conversations, then lunch. Our first date was simple, a Thai place near my office. When the check came, he reached for it. I reached too. He smiled. "Split?" It wasn't a test, it was a relief. Day 45. Adrian was still out there somewhere, the ghost of a story that had finally run out of followers. My cousin sent one last update. He was working at a car wash. Minimum wage, tips if lucky. Living in a weekly motel with peeling paint and bad lighting. His latest post had shifted tone again, trying to stay positive. The universe gives what you give. Some people never appreciated my realness. Cash App still open for blessings. No comments, no likes. He'd become background noise on a platform that thrives on novelty, and for the first time I didn't feel anger, just distance. Day 50. He tried, one more time, to reach me. A message from an unfamiliar number. "I know you'll never forgive me, but I wanted you to know I'm in therapy now. Court ordered, but still. I realize I was toxic. I took you for granted. You deserve better. I hope you found it." I didn't respond. Because I had. Not just with Miles, but with myself. When Miles asked about my ex, I told him the story. Not for sympathy, but context. He blinked when I got to the quote. He really looked at you and said, "This is who I am," like it was profound. I nodded. Miles laughed softly. That's like a thief saying, "I steal, accept it or don't," and being shocked when someone locks the door. Exactly. What I learned. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Ultimatums are confessions in disguise. Take it or leave it is a real choice. Leaving doesn't make you heartless. It makes you free. Love isn't cleaning up someone's broken glass. It's refusing to step on it again. Boundaries aren't punishment. They're proof you've learned where the line actually is. Peace isn't silence. It's the absence of chaos you kept calling love. Tonight, 1 year since I first met him, I stand in the same kitchen. The counter gleams, the air smells faintly of basil and garlic, and the faucet runs clear water that catches light, not glass. Miles is in the next room, humming off key, trying to uncork a bottle of wine. When he calls my name, it doesn't sound like a demand. It sounds like an invitation. I turn off the faucet, set the towel aside, and smile. There's no broken glass in my sink, no apology waiting on red, just dinner, laughter, and the quiet, steady rhythm of a life that finally fits. Because when people tell you who they are, you can believe them. And when you finally believe yourself, you never go back.